Hello everybody, welcome back to another TWD Survivors video. Today I'll be going through a ranking of my current Season 4 or Season X after the time jump of my region, which is 2388. So first I'm going to go through the clans and show you the clan power that there is. So we're going to teams, we've got clan power, we've got my clan, which is Gods of Destruction, which has 11.2 billion power, very nice. Then we've got the Smurf Village, which is our second clan from the same region, with 10.3 billion power. Lots of strong people in there. And then in third, we have the first clan from opposition, which is the Beehive from 398, which has, strong players, but, a lot of AFK players. As you can see here, there's 2 rank 1s in the top 6, which isn't great. In fourth place, we have our third clan, which fills our coalition, the Grim Reapers, which, has another great family, which was fun to add this season. Here we have 398's second clan in 5th position, which is the Bees. They moved a lot of players from Hive into Beehive for a war in the second coalition. In 6th place, we have 395's Mob, which, has some decently strong players. A lot of people going up for some strongest survivor today, and, they're going to try win it this week from that clan. We've got TLS, which is the first clan from our second clan, which has an inactive, insanely strong player, 154 million combat power, but, super strong clan, which is 392's second clan after Grim Reapers. Then we have Gods of War, which is 96's first clan, which doesn't have very many members anymore since, the war with us, which is, unfortunate for them, but they didn't want to back down. The Savages, which is 95's second clan, they have Bumper, who's very strong. He's got a nearly max Yumiko formation. I remember getting hit by that earlier today. Got NMS Girl Power, which has Vega, very strong player here. 227 million combat power. But then again, not much support and infrastructure in terms of players. Only 10 people around 100 million power in there. Then after that, you've got a few of the littler clans. We've got 94's first clan, which, isn't strong. We've got some inexperienced people in here. You've got a 100 million combat power, 200 million power player, which isn't great when you're merging. You don't want to have one very inactive clan in your region like we did. So up here in the map, if we go into the thing, go into the regions, we got 92 and 94. 94 was not useful. 92 and 88 are what we use. And then they got 3 really strong regions, which, have diminished in power since then. So I'm now going to have a look at the individual rankings this season. So, first of all, we're going to the overall power, where we have Triple Fire, Savage, and Hades. These are all 3 from my clan. These are the very, very top guys, especially Triple Fire. As you can see, 150 million power ahead. Savage nearly 25 ahead of Hades. And then here you have Deno, who is on a bit of a rampage at the moment. If I show you the logs of just this clan's thingy. If we go into defense, it's all just Deno. Lots and lots and lots of attacks against us. And then you got Vega, who's sitting in a second coalition, which, makes them stronger when they're fighting against other people, but not great for the first coalition. We have our second clan's first player, Mad Noob. Very, very amazing person to team up with. And we have Spirito, Darkness, and Dr. P, all from, the first coalition in the other, Steadfast thing. Spirito is very strong. He's got a max Ezekiel formation. Darkness, not very strong. It's more, dog power and equipment power than actual combat power. You got Dr. P, who's very strong, but quite inactive nowadays. Here you have Akaduk, who's really strong, 170 million combat power, which takes up second place in TSV. And of course, you have Wilson supporting, very close between these two, only 2 million power. We've got Lamurian from Mob, which, makes up their second place too. very strong, but we don't really see him that much when we fight them, which is quite often. And you got Scoob, Punjabi, and Fog Smash, all from Grim, all 200 million power. Very, very nice people to work with. You've got Jenny and Diablo, both from the Bees, which is the second coalition. They've been fighting a big war against our second coalition. And you've got a lot of filler people here. These are all the people who've got tier 10s a lot. There's some people in here who have spent a lot of money but like to keep the power low, which is quite nice. I prefer that over having an insane amount of high power and then having a really, really low combat power like some people do. Like there's people with 35 million combat power but 130 million overall power. And then, they're not actually that strong when you come to fight them. So if we're going to combat power now, you can see Triple Fire is very far ahead. 411 million combat power. There's nobody that's reached 300 yet. We, of course, have second and third place in this, which is, normal for most of these, like, rankings. Then you got the usual people in the top, which is Deno, Spirit, Vega, and Mad Noob. You don't really see anything different here, apart from G Nightmare, an old player who used to play with us, who was Elite 16. Got high combat power, but, quit back in Season 3, last season. Got another inactive player here too. Another one here. I remember this person, they were not the greatest. So if we go into Town Hall now, you'll see Triple Fire, Hades, and Mad Noob. Same people again, you've got Siri here instead, in 7th place. And you've got Hakan from TSV, second clan, very strong. You've got Darkness, Folk, Savage, Akaduk. You've got Juan here, nice T10 player from my clan. You also got Mateus, another really strong T10 player from my clan. Followed by Dr. P and Enos, another one, which is the same with Sonic, really strong T10 player. Now I'm going to have a look at the combat survivors. This is where it gets juicy. So, first of all, we have Triple Fire, but I don't want to start there yet. I'll save him till last. Let's go from 15 and upwards. So we have a look at Mad Noob's formations. You've got a Max Governor, which is very nice, with Max God equipment on him. Mainly, he's Tyrant's formation, but he does have a melee second tier, like second formation. Needs some work on the Negan and Pamela, but that's quite hard now to get them up until the end of the season, which is like a month or so. You've got Sirius One, another player like this who is low in combat power but super high in overall power, who's just stocking their formations with purple and blue stuff, which means doesn't really make them strong. Very easy to fight, really. Then you get to Devil of Them, which is God of War's, second clan. If it would load. There we go. Let's go back into that. So, Devil of Them with a 108, a 102, and 100 Negan. Quite common you see here is a lot of, sharpshooter focused formations, which include Tyrants and, of course, Freedom Fighters. We haven't unlocked anyone like Pamela yet. No, the other one. Dwight. So there's no Dwight formations, there's no Violent Minds. Nobody's got Fierce Defenders yet because it's too early for that. And then we have Punjabi here, who is Grimm's one of the Grimm's strongest players. Here you can see they're focused on a sort of a sharpshooter journey, but they've got some melee mix in there with 2 melee forms and 2 sharpshooter forms. A Max Governor as before, a Pamela and a Negan. Bit low on the Negan and Pamela, but it can be worked on. USA Patriot, another inactive person from 92, who, doesn't really have the greatest of clans. But, they have decent formations. Here we have Spirito, who is one of the stronger players this season. As you can see, they've got a Max Ezekiel formation. Well, a Max for Season 3. When the level cap went up, nobody yet has got a Max Ezekiel formation. But they do have a 100 Magna crew, which is quite nice. All of these guys have got the max equipment as well. All level 30 on the F1, which is beautiful to see. It's quite annoying to play against though. You got Vega in 9th place with a 120 Governor, which is quite nice. Obviously, it's a lot more common nowadays post post Strongest Survivor to get these fragments of him. But here you see a second formation. I know this is a second formation because there's a 108 Michonne in it. A prison recon formation. I've not seen one of those since Hades, which is, you know, quite nice to see. More sharpshooter focused, as you can see. You got Governor, and then you got a Laura formation somewhere in here, wherever she is. Might not have had her upgraded. But here you've got Hades, who has arguably one of the strongest F1s compared to Triple Fire's F1. Purely the fact that it has a max Tyrants formation at 120 each with max upgrades, which is beautiful. Here's another Prison Recon, which is quite nice, but not that great in terms of buffs, which only gives a 20% instead of 30%. But, you know, it's not too bad. Got Ruthless Negan on the go. I know where this is going to go. It's going to go into the Violence Mind with Vengeful Governor and the other one, whichever one it is, Call Times Dwight. You got Deno, who has not quite yet maxed the Governor, but I can see they're working here on an absolute amazing formation, which is Family Unity. Andrea's at 108, which is quite high. You've got Seasoned Rick and Carl. Their fragments are really hard to get, so to see one this high is really nice. Got most of Yumiko done too, with another mainly Tyrant focused, with 2 sharpshooter formations here, and then a melee in the middle. You've got Reggie, who's, you know, a bit of a new player, I think, who hasn't quite understood things, but of course has spent a lot of money. As you can see, an 82 Ezekiel, 100 Yumiko, but not yet reached the heights of Talon 25, which is a bit strange. In 5th, we have Diablo with a nearly max Whisperers formation, followed by 2 sharpshooter formations and just a regular one. They've got, you know, perfect setup for a Yumiko here, with a Magna and a Connie max star, but nothing on Yumiko yet. That might be something to do in the future, if they play more. You got Savage here, who is another really strong person from my clan. You've got a nearly max Whisper formation, followed by Sharpshooter, and then Family Unity. Another Family Unity. I think this is one of the only Family Unities that there is in this season. And then the person above is Dr. P, formerly known as Thracian. You've got Governor Pamela Negan. I mean, just more sharpshooters. And a lot of people just have purple gear on, which buffs up power. You got Jenny from Bees, which is another just equipment-based power. Just 1 strong formation. And you got Triple Fire, who is the strongest person so far. As you can see, they've got a lot of, pretty much everybody has some, you know, stars into the 120s plus. You have a 90 Ezekiel, which pairs up with 110 Jesus, and Michonne. Quite nice. Got the Negan formation, which rocks with Pamela and wherever the Governor is, down here, 102. The Governor's lower than most people. Don't quite know why. He'll probably win Strongest Survivor and get him up soon. A Max Yumiko form for the F4, which is quite nice, with a 118 Magna, or is that F2? Might have swapped them around recently. You've got a Max Freedom Fighters, probably F4, F5 maybe, because I can see here he's got a Dwight with Ruthless Negan 106 up in here. Very nice, getting prepared for the next thing season 7. So if we have a look at specialization, this is what came in, you know, new this season. Got Savage leading the way with the gold skills, lots and lots of purple skills. Hades followed in with more gold skills. Triple has a lot more gold skills than these lot, but they're more equally upgraded. They're each on like 30-ish. And then you got the usual people here. Zypher is someone who's very strong, very underrated, with a 120, 120, 120 Magna Crew. Mainly focused on that. Got Warcarts, you can see Triple Fire's still destroying with 2 max Warcarts. Nobody yet has got another max Warcart. You got Savage with 174. You got Hades with a 75. Mad Noob with a 71. Vega with a 69. You got Scoob with a 70. You know, basic stuff in here. Technologies. Triple Fires. I think he has all 3 of his tier 10s yet. I'm not quite sure. It's just brilliant stuff to see. Deno, Vega, Hades, Mad Noob, Savage again. The regular people. Ares is one which we haven't seen much. Miss Vixen on these leaderboards, not seen much. Recruits, it's the usual people again. Triple, Savage, Hades, Vega. Simple stuff. Diablo makes his way here. Here's Zypher. You can't quite see it yet because it's Saw. Vehicles, 3 tier 4 vehicles, 2 max nearly. 2 tier 4, 1 not yet got the final skin. And then you got Hades with 3. There's not many people here. You got Spirito with 3, but not one that's maxed. Got Reggie who has 2, but it's quite different there. Animals, the only person with a 14 skill dog is this person, which is triple. The basic stuff. Same people here again. Development survivors, got a different person leading this time. You got Mad Noob. Not many people differently making the leaderboard. You got Blue Moon up here. She's very beautiful. And that will conclude our viewing of the rankings in the season. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. See ya.